Be looking at kicking biomechanics. And so in both these images, we have the swimmer about to bring this leg right here downwards. Okay, so these arrows represent the direction that this leg is going to move. Now, the way that the athlete does this will determine how effective their kick is. The best swimmers will hold their knee, so right here, completely still. Less good swimmers, particularly less good kickers, will allow their knee to come up, meaning so their knee comes up and their upper leg moves up a little bit with it. This is the big difference between faster kickers and slower kickers that is often not acknowledged. The explanation as to why this is will be explained later in the video if you're interested. Consider as an example Caleb Dressel. You can find this video on the NBC Sports YouTube. As he's about to kick down with his lower leg, note how his upper leg right here stays very still throughout the whole process. Watch this again. His lower leg kicks down, but his upper leg hardly moves up until the very end of his kicking cycle. Consider also here Cheragini, one lane back right here. As he prepares to kick down, his upper leg will stay very still. He does an excellent job at this, and his lower leg extends. Note how in these past few frames, the upper leg right here and the knee have stayed completely still. If you look at any elite swimmer, they will all do this either excellently like Cheragini does, or at least very well as Dressel does. However, if you watch the legs of an amateur swimmer or just a less competent kicker, their knee is going to move upwards while the lower leg kicks down. Consider the muscles that are needed to create this action. So we'll pay attention to this swimmer back here. As he kicks down, this part of his leg stays still. Now, the muscles that need to do that are the hip flexors and the abs. And so something that a lot of amateur swimmers don't pay attention to is that the hip flexors are needed to be active and strong to keep this upper leg in a strong place. Similarly, the abs need to support the stillness and the stability of these upper legs. It's a lot easier to allow them to relax and allow the knee to move upwards when you kick. And so for those who are just learning this technique, they're going to find it very challenging to kick, even a 50 or 100 holding that technique because their hip flexors and their abs will get tired quickly. When you first learn this technique, it'll be very challenging to change your habits. I recommend working on it on dry land. So work on it, changing the way that you move your legs when you kick. Here, you can see me holding onto this couch and standing, kicking, extending my leg while keeping the upper leg straight. Then I practice what it feels like to let my upper leg relax and let my knee go backwards. Watch one more time. I keep the upper leg still and work on just extending my leg. Then here, I do it incorrectly a couple times. Then I return to doing it correctly. This same drill should also be done in the water so that the difference in the way it feels to kick correctly versus incorrectly can be appreciated. Now, I'd like to go over a few things that you will probably experience as you try and learn this new technique. First, this new technique will feel like you're kicking very deep in the water, and that's all right. Second, you will feel a lot of resistance on the foot, meaning kicking down will not be easy. You'll feel a lot of pressure against your foot. It'll make you go fast, but it will be very tiring on your muscles. When you first start learning, I recommend working with vertical kick or single leg kicking. When you're doing vertical kick, you can look down at your legs and see if your upper leg and knee is staying still while you're kicking forward. And that's a way you can check yourself. Single leg kicking, you won't be able to look down, but because you're only doing one leg at a time, it can help you focus on doing the correct motion with just one leg. Finally, when you first get it down, you should realize that your 25 freeze to flutter kick will be fast, but you should feel very tired after doing it. And as you work on it more, then it'll become second nature and your kick should increase over a couple of weeks.
The explanation as to why this is an important part of kicking biomechanics is that what sends you forward is the amount of force that this leg, mostly the ankle and the bottom of your foot here, produces. Now, if whenever you're kicking down, your knee moves up, as poor kickers do, that reduces the speed at which the foot moves down. Because if the foot's moving this way, but the knee is counteracting it and causing this part of the leg to go upwards, then the foot isn't able to go down as quickly as it does over here. And so for that reason, holding the knee still and holding the upper leg still too is what really makes good kickers.